This is Educated Artistry. Hi guys, welcome to this week's episode of Educated Artistry. First and foremost, I want to thank our sponsor for today, which is Imperfection is Beauty. Today, I'm going to be sharing 4 tasks that I have automated in my business. With most of us being like solopreneurs, whether you're lash, hair, nails, skin, waxing, there are so many tasks that we have day to day being a business owner, right? That falls outside of just being in the treatment room or servicing your clients. Even one small task that can be automated could end up saving us hundreds of hours throughout the year. So, I want to share a couple of amazing resources that I use in order to automate the more tedious parts of my business. Automating tasks is amazing because a lot of the time you only need to set it up once with very little maintenance or tweaks to it for it to just be streamlined. So, automating tasks is going to streamline a lot of things in your business, especially when they could be something that's more of a time consuming task. It's going to increase productivity, reliability, and give your customer quicker support and a smooth experience. I'm going to be sharing the prices of all these tools that I use too. And guys, I will say a lot of them are really inexpensive. So, this is going to be something great that you guys have options for. But just remember too, I know sometimes it can be like, oh, another subscription for this and another subscription for that. And it all adds up. But I like to think of it as like, how much time is this saving me compared to how much I'm paying per month, right? So a lot of these are more of a lower cost, but just keep that in mind. So this first one, I wasn't even sure if I was going to add this one because I feel like a lot of you guys probably already do this. However, I do know that this podcast has a really wide variety of listeners, whether you're brand new to the industry or you're seasoned and you've been in this industry for 10 years. But I do feel like it's important to make sure that I am being broad and speaking to all of you because I do know that there are a lot of you guys that are just starting your beauty businesses or you're brand new or you're just starting to go out on your own, that this is still going to be really relevant for you. And I don't want to leave anybody out. So if you already do this, good for you. If not, then this is an amazing task that you can automate. Online booking and sending appointment reminders. Okay. Online booking alone is a great way to have and let your customers book appointments with you at any time. And I also still have service providers that I see that will like send me text reminders like manually. And to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I couldn't even imagine having to send a manual text reminder or write down people's appointments every single time. That's such a time consuming, tedious task that is very easy to be streamlined in your business. So I know also too, when starting out, online booking and adding all these things can be something where like, do I really need it? Like I just started my business. I'm not even making money yet. Do I want to add these expenses on? And I will say that I personally use Square and they do have a free option. So I always tell people to start out with that one if you're really worried about it. I think online booking is a must. It's going to give your clients access to book with you all hours of the day, which of course you can customize. Like I don't let clients book appointments with me if it's 12 hours before the appointment because I don't want to go to bed at 9 p.m. and wake up at 9 a.m. and somebody booked an appointment like at 10 a.m., right? So you can customize certain things like that. But being able to streamline and have your reminders and confirmation texts and emails automated to the client at the day of your choosing, whether it's a day before the appointment, 2 days before the appointment, it's going to help you decrease the amount of no-shows or late cancellations that you're going to get too, because you're sending them these automatic reminders. So if you're brand new and you aren't sure if online booking is worth it, then I would definitely suggest that you do online booking and you set up those appointment reminders, because not only is it going to save you a ton of time instead of manually reaching out to your clients, it's also going to save you money by, avoiding those last minute cancellations or those no shows of people saying, oh, I forgot that my appointment was this day. The main thing that I automate is my appointment reminders and appointment confirmation requests. So the confirmation request will send out to them about 2 days before their appointment that'll say confirm or cancel your appointment. And then a day later, it's going to send them another just reminder of their appointment. Something that I do love with Square is because that's what I use, and I'll give you guys the pricing and stuff for that too. So if you have that option where it does the confirmation reminders, and I know a lot of other booking sites do this, it'll either do a thumbs up or it'll have a question mark. And what I do love about Square too is that if there's still a question mark at that 24-hour mark, I can just click on their appointment and I can just click resend confirmation. So it's just going to automatically resend that confirmation. I don't have to reach out to them and say like, hey, I see your appointment's not confirmed for tomorrow. I can just click a button easy and it will automatically resend them a text to confirm their appointment. Usually they confirm it, good to go. If they didn't confirm it and it's past that 24 hours, then maybe you would reach out. But usually after that second one, they're going to go ahead and confirm. So I have used Square, guys, literally my entire career. I love it. I think it's super simple. It's really easy for the client to understand. And it's been very easy for me, user friendly for people who maybe like don't like working with all the tech stuff. I do know that there's a free option, especially if you're solo. I do the $30 a month option because it gives me like the appointment request reminders, the appointment confirmation reminders. And then it also lets you do the cards on file and everything. And honestly, I think for $30 a month, it is a great investment into your business. It's going to save you so much time. I will put a referral link in the show notes of this episode. So if you guys want to check that out, then you can get signed up with Square and it will give you, I believe, up to your first $1,000 without processing fees. So that will be in the show notes for you. So number 2 that I automate is my savings. Now, I do this for my business and my personal, but for today's episode, I'm just going to talk about what I do for business and especially for taxes, right? Which is something I get asked all the time about is like, how do you save for taxes? How do you do this? How do you know how much you're going to pay? I pay my taxes quarterly, and this is something to sit down and talk with your CPA. And especially if you've already been in business for a year and you kind of know what your projections are going to be for the next year, they're going to give you your quarterly estimates. And so that's going to give you an idea of what you're going to need to pay per quarter and split it up, and you'll pay every quarter. And if you're going to make about the same amount of money as you did the year before, right? And have the same type of write-offs and stuff. So what I would do is I would know what that number is every quarter that I was going to have to pay in my estimates, and I would break that up per month of how much I wanted to put away for taxes in my business. Now, you can do this any way that you want, whether you want to set that money aside every week, biweekly, once a month, whatever works best for you. And I have this set up automatically. So I do not even have to think about it. Once I know how much I need to put aside for my taxes, then I will do so. Now, something really important that I do is I will look at my numbers, and I suggest all of you guys do this. I will look at my numbers every month. And if like I had a really good month or I'm projecting to make more, then I might throw a little extra aside. But I always know I'm having that amount go in there I do every month. So that way I don't even have to think about it. It's already saved. Out of sight, out of mind. I don't even see that money. It's in a separate account. Now, what I want to talk to you guys about is a high yield savings account. So for all of my savings accounts for business and personal, I use a high yield savings account. And what that is, it's an account that you open through a bank that typically pays a higher interest rate on deposits than a regular savings account. So these accounts are also known as high interest savings accounts. For example, traditional savings accounts on average pay you like a 0.33% on interest, where a high yield savings account is going to pay you anywhere from 3.5 to 4.5% on average. So mine personally right now is at a 3.85%. So what that means is that for anything that I throw in money into a high yield savings account, and I have, like I said before, I have one for business, one for personal. They're great for short-term goals, meaning that you can pull out and access that money without any penalties within a few days, but you're going to be earning so much more money on that while it's just sitting there in your savings, right? So even if you pay your taxes just once a year, at least you have that money saved, and it's building way higher of an interest rate compared to just what a traditional savings account would be. And me personally, I like having a separate savings account, not within my regular business bank account. I know that there's money in there and it transfers in there, but it's not something that I see every single day and I see like that big chunk of money in there. It's something that I just know, out of sight, out of mind. That's for taxes. Or maybe you're wanting to save up for a training or a new location, or, going out on your own, and it's something that is just automatic. So I'll share with you guys, I personally use the Ally. It's Ally. This is obviously not sponsored, but hey, if you're listening, because I do love that banking app. And it's an app on your phone you download. It's really easy to get all of your business account information in there because you're going to set up automatic transfers. And like I said, I do mine for my business every month. I have it automatically pull from my business checking account into my high yield savings account through Ally. So the great thing too is that you can choose, like I said, if you would rather have like a smaller amount come out every week, then you can do that if you want biweekly, or if you just want that big amount coming out every month, it's totally up to you. For my personal savings, I also use Ally, but I have a separate account, right? Because we're keeping our funds separate, guys. And I like to have a smaller amount go in there every week that I don't even realize it's there, that it's just like a small amount gets automatically transferred every week and goes into that account, which is really great because then it adds up quick. And I look and I'm like, oh, hey, look at that. Look at me just like saving these small amounts. And with anybody, if you have a hard time with saving money too, and this can be for personal or business, like start small, right? Start with $20 a week or $20 a month, whatever you can afford, start there. But this is going into another account. It's going to build your interest. You're going to be making more money on top of that a lot quicker than you would in just a traditional savings account. So that is something great that I started automating a few years back, and especially for taxes, because I wanted to not even think about it. I used to go in and I would tell myself every month, I would sit down and be like, okay, I'm going to transfer this much. I'm going to calculate this and transfer this much into my savings. But now that I know and it's pretty consistent, then I'm going to just have it automatically set up to transfer once a month. And then I usually do go through my books and I see like, oh, did I make significantly more this month or, this quarter than I have the prior? And then maybe I will manually transfer more over into savings. But what the great thing is too, is even when that money is sitting there for 3 months before you pay your quarterlies, you're still earning more money on top of that than you would in your traditional savings account. So I will put the link for that app and that online banking app in the show notes. So if you guys are interested in it, there's a lot of really other great ones. I do know that Square actually came out with a savings account option, and it seemed more like it was a high yield savings, but I do remember that the interest rate was still like a 1% or like a 0.5 to 1%. So it was better than a traditional savings account, but it wasn't as good as this app that I'm using now or other ones that I've seen in the past too. So I think kind of shop around, see what's going to give you the best interest rate. I will say with Ally, I believe it started at a 1%, and then every month they like increased my interest rate to now it's at a 3.85% that you're earning. And it'll continue to increase. They'll be like, hey, guess what? We're jacking up the interest rate. So that is really great too. So it might start lower, but you want to make sure that it's something that's going to build on there as well. Another quick thing about that app that I love is you can create buckets within your savings account. So maybe you have a tax bucket and then you have like a education bucket, you have an emergency bucket. So you can set all these up for your business. You can set goals, and then you can have your automatic transfers all set up. You can say, okay, I want $50 to go into this education bucket every month. I want, whatever I want for my taxes to go into this bucket. And so you can automatically transfer into each bucket. So you don't even have to think about that either. So that is something really great. Obviously, saving your money and making more money on a higher interest rate is great, but also just automating the process so you don't even have to think about it. It's going to save you so much time. And I just know that I tend to be forgetful. And if I don't have it automated, I'm most likely going to forget to throw that money in my savings account. So I love having that automated and then using the high yield savings account. Do you love pre-made fans? Do you love mega volume? Do you love 0.03 lashes? Well, then I need you to listen and tune in about today's sponsor, Imperfection is Beauty. Imperfection is Beauty pre-made lashes are made with the mega volume lash artist in mind. Michelle, the owner, was personally on a journey of finding the best 0.03 pre-mades out there on the market. She couldn't find it, so she ended up making her own line. These beautiful mega volume pre-mades are as dark as night and as soft as a baby's bum, and the best thing about them is they're going to save you time and you're going to be able to make more money. I am a huge advocate for pre-made fans and using them to level up your artistry, to help save you time. And honestly, guys, as I've said time and time again, pre-made fans have evolved so much over these past few years that I think they are a really amazing tool to have in your arsenal of the artistry that you can put on your clients, right? I personally love pre-made fans a lot because I love being able to really focus just on the styling and the mapping and kind of take away the extra time of making a fan. So, Michelle has an amazing offer for listeners today. It is going to be buy one, get one free on any mixed tray and receive a free pre-made tweezer. Yeah, you heard that right. Buy one, get one free on any mixed tray. And also, you're going to receive a free pre-made tweezer. You're going to use the code EDUCATED at imperfectionisbeautyco.com. That is going to be buy one, get one free on any mixed tray and a free tweezer with the code EDUCATED at imperfectionisbeautyco.com. We will have it linked in the show notes. And I am so excited for you guys to try these out. And thank you, Imperfection is Beauty, for being today's sponsor. Okay, number 2 of a tool that I use is Calendly. So I use Calendly for booking like podcast guest recordings and one-on-one coaching calls. So for example, I'm going to talk about how I have it set up for podcast recordings so it's just streamlined and it's not confusing. So you can set up your calendar for when you have availability for whatever that you want your customer to book with you, right? So for podcasting, I have a set schedule on Mondays that I have available for people to book an appointment slot that works for them to come on the podcast and be a guest. So I send them that booking link and they'll go through and they'll book the appointment. And then it's going to take them to a page with a questionnaire on it that I customize where I ask them questions about maybe a topic they want covered, if they have a discount code. And I just ask them a couple questions to help prepare for the interview for me too, and kind of like the outline of the episode and kind of what the vibe is going to be. Once they confirm, they submit that questionnaire, they are going to automatically get an email from me. So one of the great things about Calendly that you can set up is automated emails that can send in a sequence depending on if you want them to send right after they book the appointment, if you want them to send one, 30 minutes after the appointment is over. And then they have like little templates too. So you can do a welcome email, a thank you email, further next steps email. So that's what's great too, is you do this one time and you set it up how you want those emails to go out and in what sequence and what order and at what time. And then it is just going to automatically do that. So with podcast recordings, usually what I do is right when they book the appointment, I have an email set up that's going to send to them right away. And it's going to be further instructions and how to prepare for the podcast. So I give them a list of a few things because I want everybody to feel really prepared and know what to expect when it comes to recording an episode. So it's going to say things like, make sure you're in an area with minimal background noise, you have good lighting, good internet connection, and now, of course, I can't think of what else I put in there, but I give them little tips on best recording. I say wear headphones. If you have a podcast mic, that's great. Use it. If not, no big deal. Just use your computer mic, but headphones are a requirement. So I give them all those like tips so that way they feel really prepared and we're going to get the best episode that we can quality wise. So they get that and then they're going to get further instructions too, which I say send me a headshot and all the links that you want included in the show notes, right? This way it is streamlined for me. I don't have to go in. And guys, I used to go in manually and I would I had a done out list like in a Google Doc that I would just copy and paste an email to them. But even that takes time, right? Like even having to go in. This way it is done. Everybody's getting the same information and it's good to go. And it helps me make sure that everybody's prepared, right? Then you can also set up too, if you want them to get an appointment reminder, which I think is great. I usually send them a reminder 24 hours before the recording date. So that way, if we need to adjust anything or reschedule, then it doesn't happen to me last minute. And then after the recording is done, because I have it set for about an hour, so you can set an email too if you want, like, I think mine set it like 30 minutes after our appointment duration is over, it sends them a thank you email. So it's going to send them an email that thanks them from coming on the podcast, kind of what the process is when their episode releases, what the next steps are for that, how I usually say I will send you any marketing materials and links and everything for the podcast so that way you can share your episode with your audience. And that is just something too that's amazing. That way they know and I don't have to do anything. We set this up once and it is good to go and don't have to add on any other steps to it. So I do the same thing with my one-on-one coaching calls. Obviously, it's set up a little bit different because those are just different calls and there's different things that are required to prepare. But that is just something that you can streamline in your business. You can do it for if you do coaching calls, if you also do podcasting, if you do any type of consultations, or really anything where you're meeting with somebody, and doing an appointment with them. So that is Calendly. They do have a free version, and then they have a couple different options that go up to $16 a month. So once again, I would say it's a very reasonable price. I think I use the $8 a month version, which seems to be perfect for everything that I need. You can connect your Google Calendar to it, and I have my Square calendar connected. So anytime somebody books with me on Calendly, it shows up on my Square calendar where I can see everything else, and it shows up on my Google Calendar too. So there's a lot of great things that you can automate there and make it super easy and streamlined for your business. And this just makes it a better experience for either your student who's doing a call with you or your guest or whoever is coming on and booking an appointment with you. The fourth one is ManyChat. So ManyChat is another app. It is built for sales and marketing to increase product sales, customer engagement. It's going to generate qualified leads and deliver instant support through personalized conversations in Instagram, DMs, and Facebook Messenger. Now, I usually just use this for Instagram. Obviously, I don't reach out to clients on Facebook, but some of you guys may. The feature that I love the most about ManyChat, and you guys have probably seen people in the industry use this, where they'll say, DM me this word to get the link, or DM me this to get this freebie, or to sign up for this masterclass. DM me this word, right? So they have a keyword feature. Once you download the app, you go in, you connect your Instagram account, of course, and you can set up keywords, and then you can set up when somebody sends you a DM with that keyword in it, they're going to get an automatic response that you set up on the back end. So let's say, for example, you could say DM me scroller for when I was doing my scroller to high roller masterclass. Now I can set up on the back end an automated response that's going to be a little bit more personalized. It'll be like, hey, thank you so much for your interest in this class. I'm super excited for you to join and ready to level up your game on TikTok and grow your business on TikTok. Here's the link to sign up for the class. And then you would link them directly to your sales page. This is going to save you so much time when it comes to being in your direct messages and making sure you're responding to everybody in a timely manner and making sure they're not getting lost in the request or anything too in Instagram. And it's going to help to support your audience without just leaving them in your DMs for days, because there are times, guys, where it's we're busy, we cannot get to our messages, or it's going to be the next day. And we want to make sure that we're getting information to the people that want to buy from us quickly and efficiently. And so that is something that is amazing to have set up, so you can lead people to your sales pages or your product or your service 24 hours a day. This is something that even if you are booking with clients, that you can still set this up, DM me lashes and grab this spot or whatever it is. And then you can set up all these customized messages as well. What I do love is it does give you options too, where it says do they have to, so let's say for scroller, it'll say, do you want the message to be sent if their message contains that word or if it is just that word, which I really like, because sometimes depending on the keyword that you choose, they could just put that keyword in their general message to you where they're not even asking about that. They could say scroller in their thing and it would send them. So I set it up to where they just send me scroller and it will send them that link there. So the pricing for ManyChat is anywhere from free to $15 a month. I think this is something too that I was paying the $15 a month for, because it gives you a certain amount, and obviously the free version isn't going to give you as much access. I would just go look into it and see what works best for you. But I think if you're somebody, especially if you sell online courses, masterclasses, trainings, this is a really great way. Products, this is a great way to, when you're posting on your stories, to get people into your DMs, make it really easy for them to get your product, right? Because this is something too that I see a lot of people are trying to sell something, but we're making it so difficult for our client to get to the sales page. If a client or a customer has to click more than 3 times to be able to get to whatever you're selling, it's too much. People's attention spans are so freaking short. You want it to be quick and efficient for your client to get to your sales page so they can pay you money, right? So they can join your course or your program whatever it is. So we want to make sure that we're providing this information to them really fast. And this is a way that we can do that. They DM one word, which is going to take them barely any time to do. They just respond to your story, that word. They're going to get that link instantly. And then they click on it and they're able to sign up. That's it. So it's going to be something that is going to streamline and make it so stinking easy for your client and your customer. I will also put the link to ManyChat inside of the show notes as well. I'm going to put all the links to everything I talked about today. That way you guys can go, you can check them out, see if it aligns with your business and if it's something that you would want to automate into your business. That way you have some tasks taken off your plate. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and you learned something. And I hope that you can apply at least one of these things to start saving you some time within your business so you can use that time that you're using for more tedious tasks to actually work on the parts of your business that you love, right? Because there are so many hats that we wear and so many things that we need to do. Anything that can be automated is going to save you a ton of time. And in the long run, that's going to save you a ton of money if you are saving time and automating those things. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. We are going to see you next Wednesday for another episode. And I also do want to mention really quickly, we are coming up on our 100th episode. I cannot even believe it. I'm going to give you guys more information as this all comes together, but I am thinking that we're going to have it be a live streamed event on YouTube. If you don't make it there on YouTube, I will be uploading it as a regular podcast episode later on so you can catch it. But I will be giving you guys the date, the time. I want to do really fun giveaways and prizes. I'm not really sure what the episode's going to be about or how we're going to structure it yet, but I do think it'll be really fun to be live so we can do some one-on-one interaction. And I'm really excited to celebrate 100 episodes. And this podcast started in 2019 and it's had there's been waves of everything that we've gone through with this podcast. And I just thank you for being here. If you're a new listener, I thank you for coming. I hope you guys aren't too upset about last week's episode of our little prank we played on you about the butthole extensions, but it was really fun. And I'm just excited to keep bringing you guys episodes. And I'm excited that this 100th episode just seems so huge. And I'm excited to do something fun and I want to give back to you guys. So also, if you're a brand or you have any product or service that you want to sponsor the 100th episode, I'm going to be opening up multiple sponsorships for that. So if you want to donate product, if you want to donate a course or anything like that, you will be featured on the episode. And then one of the listeners will be entered to win your product or your service or whatever you want to donate to the podcast and become a sponsor. So if you do want to become a sponsor in general or for the 100th episode, please email me at educatedartistrypodcast@gmail.com and I will send you over the details. And I'm super excited. I hope you guys have a lovely day and I will see you next Wednesday.